You know, it's a lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment from us queen. A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best. And I would say this is probably more prominent over 45. When we're in our 40s, we can date the daddy or the son.
Welcome to another episode of 5elfcheckout. I'm your humble and gracious host, Check. This is a male-dominant space for social awareness, relationships, and overall shit-talking. Today's episode comes from the Unspoken Podcast. They are fairly new to the podcast space, to my understanding. I've never seen a video by them, but hopefully they got a lot of great things for us to hear. And of course, every video that I review online has to be deemed either trolling or staged until proven otherwise, simply because people get on the internet and say absolutely anything. Now, this is done on a professional setting, so hopefully there is no trolling or nothing being staged, but you just never know. Before we get into today's video, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way, every time we drop a video, you get first dibs. Without further adu, let's get right into it.
No, I do have a little subject matter. So my topic is, he's a 10 or not.
Why she looking at me, y'all? Like, I'm a 10. So she not talking.
We know that he thinks he's a 10.
I'm a 10.
But no,
I know that's right.
you know, it's a lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment.
Good treatment.
From us queens. A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best.
Most people are.
And they feel like we're supposed, first of all, you're approaching a 10. You're approaching a
Let me stop the bleeding really quickly. First and foremost, and this is not my personal opinion, it's just based off their age that I can clearly see on screen. Nobody on this set is a 10. Not one of them, including the man. And I'm sure, almost 100% sure they're not in their best physical shape. These women don't strike me as women that work out, personally. He don't look like he work out. He don't look like he's in shape either. But let's continue.
And then you want them to treat you like you're a 10.
It's called good treatment.
So tell me, Melita, what do you think about that? Especially, and I would say this is probably more prominent over 45. When you're dating over 45, these men got gout. They got a bad knee.
She is going hard, y'all.
That gout.
They got a bad knee. Yes. They sleep with a CPAP machine.
They do.
I've been there, done that.
This is elderly dating. She started at 45 because everybody on this set is 40 plus, maybe even 50 plus. So y'all way out of y'all prime, all of y'all. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think everything has to play its time in life. Everything has its moment. And some people just aren't willing to let go of their moment. They're thinking about, damn, when I was in my 20s, when I was in my early 30s, I was it. Those days are over. No one's really checking for you. The fact of the matter is, if they were checking for you, trust me, you would not be on this show saying what you are saying. People that can actually possess the things that they truly desire don't complain about it not happening for them. They just get up and they get whatever it is that they want. However they decide to go about it, that's their God-given right. However, only ones that can obtain the things that they actually want complain. Keep that in mind. Let's continue.
Just say, you are a 7 at best, boo. And then you want to tell me, oh, you need to do this. And you got me straight. Tripping.
Yeah.
Should he not request you to do those things because he's not more attractive on the scale? Like, I don't understand that. I thought these things were prerequisites for a relationship. You treat them a certain way. You treat them like as if they were 10s. That's why you're in the relationship with them in the first place. This is exactly why she's on this show. But let's finish.
Because at the end of the day, think about it. When we're in our 40s, we can date the daddy or the son.
Not a flex.
They honest. So why pick the daddy when we can date the son?
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, the son just wants to fuck you. The dad might actually be looking for a stable relationship. If you're looking just to get it in, you could have both. Fuck it. It is what it ain't. But if you're looking for a stable relationship, no, you're not dating the son. It's very rare. This is not a Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan type situation. It is very rare where a woman 50 plus gets with a man that is also 50 plus and she qualifies for his son for a stable relationship. That's like 1 in a million. Let's not do that. And I know, I could tell just from the look on her face, she really thinks she liked that. The results tell you for themselves. You're not. Because if you could have the son, you probably would have had one by now. And you wouldn't be saying what you're saying. When you say that we could date the daddy or the son, you're simply just talking about sexual relations. Anybody could fucking get that. That's easy work. Let's see what else they got to say.
I agree. I agree. She is funny. I agree. I feel like dating over 45, 40, 50, whatever the case may be, is like shopping on a clearance rack. Like,
for everyone.
Yes.
Not a clearance rack.
Not no rack.
Well, they're dragging. They dragging us through the mud up in here.
The diamond in the rough. You got to find that one piece that it's hard to find. I really honestly feel like dating over 45 and to what you said, you're a 10 and you have these men that are 7s, 5s, 4s. It's a lot.
Maybe it speaks to the ratios that's going on out there. They feel empowered by that.
No, let them know.
Move them ratios.
Let them know.
I'm just
Let 'em
saying.
know.
Let
them know.
I think it's a balance. I feel like when you're at a certain space in your life, you know what I mean? Like I've been divorced. I've been married most of my life, and you're in a certain space. You don't expect or want less than, or your standards and your boundaries are different. So I personally feel like it's a lot. It's been a lot. It's been challenging, trying. It's been a lot. Well,
She's run out of things to say, so she's just talking in circles right now. Okay. She said dating in that age group is like shopping on a clearance rack. Yes, that's the experience for everybody, whether you like it or not. She also said that when you get to a certain age and you've experienced certain things, your standards are higher or they're different. What she really wanted to say was that they're higher. You don't get more for an older product. There's not one product in life that gets better with more use and more time. Not one product. Shout out GFK, Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, carry your ass on over. Do you think she talked to Brad that way? Hell no.
With that woman in particular, you have been married and divorced. We don't know if it was a bad divorce or not. However, you're probably carrying some kind of baggage. You're probably carrying some kind of trauma. You probably have a couple kids. Your body isn't what it used to be. Your mind not even be what it used to be. You might have had a much clearer outlook on life, and because that relationship or that marriage went sour, now you view men or relationships entirely in a completely different manner. You might have gotten worse. Who's to say? We're all shopping, and when I say we, I mean them. We're all shopping in clearance when you're in that age group. You got to take what's left. Yes. You don't get to demand more. I'm sorry. Let's see what else they got to say.
I'll help you out there, Melita.
Yes.
I think a lot of times they expect once you reach a certain age that you're supposed to compromise and settle. And you hear that word a lot. They say, oh, you're 45, you're 48. Just take what you can get. As if you don't bring a lot to the table. Think
like
about
what?
it for a second. As women, there's so much we have to do. You know, men, they put on a black tee, some jeans or sweatpants and sneakers, and they out the door. You know, they take their little bald head. We getting hair, makeup, eyelashes, nails, waxing. We got the whole situation that we have to do only to present ourselves to someone who's subpar.
Where's the value that she mentioned in the beginning of her statement? She said that people want them to compromise and settle, right? Fair enough. I can't force you to do so. Then she also went to say that men act like women don't have a lot to bring to the table, especially with their age. And I am saying to her, okay, cool. And she goes straight to them preparing for the night out. Hair, nails, makeup, so on and so forth. Where's the value? Where is it? Beauty is not hard to find in women. There's a lot of very attractive women walking the face of the earth. Trust me, it did not start with you. And a lot of them don't need all the extra steps you need. There's some women that can roll out of bed and they're like that. Walk in any room and get almost any man. They're like that. You are not. That's why you have to take all those extra steps, because you are not that, which is okay. We can't all be 10s. You are attracting 6s and 7s because that's what you are. Learn to accept it. Let's see what else you got to say.
That's crazy. And then to say that we should reduce ourselves down because
not a reduction
of the ratios, as they say.
Don't quote
But when
it.
you talk about the ratios, we should really talk about quality women versus
that's good.
quality men. Because there's a lot of women out here, but Marcel, you know they ain't shit.
I'm
That's true.
really
Quality.
just taking this all in. I mean, I'm not going to I can't really elaborate on, because I think, from Dawn's perspective, though, the question is, what is she saying? Like, what's that standard there, right? What she considers to be a 7 to whoever could be a 10 to someone else. So I think that right there kind of mixes the bowl. That's the first thing, right?
Yeah.
Because where you are in your life, that's going to create your standard. That's one. Again, born here in the DMV, District, Maryland, Virginia, for you guys that are national. It's just what it is. It's just kind of like in Atlanta. It's going to be the ratio issue. It's going to be way more women than guys. I wouldn't want to be a female in that situation because it does lend to some of the things that you hear Dawn speaking to. Like, you're just going to have guys that are willing to take a shot because they already know that, listen, like, if I see it, let's whatever, we can say a 10 is whatever somebody's perspective is, but that guy sees a 10, he feels emboldened to take the shot because he has nothing to lose. First of all, like, that's just what it is. Now, what you do with that...
We're going to stop it right there. The fact of the matter is this. Time is of the essence. And it is different for men and women, yes. With men, sometimes, if you do the right things with yourself, if you work on yourself, you make a certain amount of money, you keep yourself out of toxic situations, you try not to have... you try not to have kids, you do get better with time. We age like wine for men. Women, on the other hand, not so much. A man at 50 and a woman at 50, when our dating options are completely different. I can go find a 25, 30-year-old. Without an issue. As long as I am in shape, I look good, I got my money right, I got my mind right, I got my health right, they're for the taking, without a doubt. Women, on the other hand, recreational use by the young boys, for sure. I think the moral of the story is try your best to not be trying to find a partner when you're 40, maybe even 50 plus years old. You gotta keep the change.